Dixieland, I was born.
On December 19, 1977, the Liberty Bowl and its president, Edmund Sakala, awarded its highest honor to Elvis Aaron Presley, accepted by his father, Vernon Presley.
Dixieland.
Our recipient this year not only distinguished himself in the world of entertainment, but was its king for over 2 decades. The things he accomplished and achieved with his talent and his ability are known to all of us. And there's no need to go into that. But he was also a man full of love. He loved his family, he loved his friends, he loved his home and his country, and among other things, he loved football. Now, fame itself has only the span of a day, but to live in the hearts of people is forever. It is with great pride and recognition that the Liberty Bowl Festival Association presents this year's Distinguished Service Award to your son, for the first time posthumously, Elvis Presley.
Liberty Bowl 1977 is brought to you by the Mid-South Beverages, bottlers and distributors of Pepsi-Cola, and First Tennessee Bank. A Memphis newspaperman once wrote, Elvis was a nobody with a somebody destiny. So too has the Memphis Liberty Bowl Classic risen from obscure roots to rank as one of the country's most prestigious postseason football games. Born in a Philadelphia snowstorm 19 years ago, this Bowl Classic attracted more than 40 million fans this year to their television sets and kept them there as the Cornhuskers of Nebraska and the Tar Heels of North Carolina produced what was to be the most exciting bowl game of the season. But this is much more than a game. It is a week of festival mood. A week that makes Memphis, Tennessee, one of the hottest towns in all the land. To Tom Sawyer, life on the Mississippi offered a relaxing break from the daily routine. And the Joseph Schlitz Brewing Company picks up where Mark Twain left off, kicking off Liberty Bowl week with a riverboat beer stuba, guaranteed to set the heart of Dixie swinging. Standing tall and shining in the Memphis sun, the Hyatt Regency is the home away from home for the Nebraska Cornhuskers as they stretch their vocal cords and rally the troops in true college fashion. No trip to Memphis would be complete without a visit to Elvis Presley's Graceland Mansion. Here, Elvis's parents lived, and it was here that the king could find sanctuary from the rigors of movies, recordings, and full house concert tours. The North Carolina team made the pilgrimage to Graceland to pay their respects to the man from Memphis. Beautiful Overton Square, a place of fanciful night spots, quaint shops, or simply an exquisite locale to view the Yuletide sights. But if food is on your mind, let a horse and buggy draw you closer to Friday's, one of the coziest eating spots in Memphis. Inside, members of the Nebraska team and their wives relax in an ideal setting of Southern hospitality. A social highlight of Liberty Bowl week is the black tie dinner dance held at the Hyatt Regency. Here, Liberty Bowl officials acquaint themselves with the prominent guests from both the Big 8 and Atlantic Coast Conference schools. Although the dress is formal, the mood is light, as the visitors are treated to a true taste of the exquisite Memphis social life. Like two prize fighters sequestered from each other before the big boxing match, North Carolina and Nebraska had not met since their arrivals in Memphis, but both teams assembled at the popular Vapors Club for Mayor Wyeth Chandler's annual brunch. Inside, the mood was cheerful, as members from each team took turns performing some of their favorite songs. And special guest was Miss Black America, Claire Ford.
Dark and dusty, painted on the sky, misty taste of moonshine, teardrop in my...
Whether their pleasure was signaled by hand clapping or foot stomping, these young people were out to make Memphis, Tennessee, their town. With the game a mere 24 hours away, the tension continues to rise. But Liberty Bowl founder and executive director Bud Dudley and his wife Peggy take time out to attend this year's Chevrolet press reception. Dancing and conversation was the order of the evening, as Logan Young of Pepsi entertains Miss America Susan Perkins. The Chevrolet press party provided a night of relaxation for ABC commentators Keith Jackson and Frank Broyles, because in less than 24 hours, they will become the voices to launch ABC into its 13th year of Liberty Bowl telecasting. The day of the game has arrived, as honored guests and nearly 2,000 filled the banquet hall of the Holiday Inn Rivermont for the 19th annual Liberty Bowl luncheon. Honored guests included Dr. Jerome Brud Holland Jr., Football Hall of Famer and former ambassador to Sweden. Carolina coach Bill Dooley and Coach Tom Osborne of Nebraska were high in their praise of the Liberty Bowl.
Well, I'm going to echo the words of everyone else that's been up here, and I mean it sincerely. The hospitality that our football players and coaches have received here in Memphis has just been unbelievable. We're certainly indebted to you people for inviting us here, and we're certainly proud to be here.
We've certainly had a good time. It's an excellent bowl, and I know I would recommend it to anyone that had the opportunity to come here. The truth of the matter is, really, we could have beaten Oklahoma if we'd wanted to, but we decided we'd rather come to the Liberty Bowl. We didn't want to.
But the accolades were saved for Vernon Presley, who accepted this year's Distinguished Service Award on behalf of his son, as part of the Liberty Bowl's tribute to Elvis.
This is quite an honor. I don't know any words to say, except I appreciate it very much. After all, football was one of Elvis's favorite sports, and I wish good luck to both teams tonight, regardless of who wins. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Presley. Thank you.
As the city by the Mississippi anxiously ushers the clock towards game time, the trophies for outstanding bowl game performances lay in waiting inside the First Tennessee Bank. Bank executives Tommy Fowler on the left and Jim Kenney on the right, along with Ron Terry, chairman of the First Tennessee National Corporation, inspect this year's Liberty Bowl trophy, which will be presented to the winning team. It is now only a few precious hours before kickoff, as more than 2,500 Liberty Bowl charter members and their friends gather for a pregame buffet. To the cheerleaders, whose work will soon begin, a toast. To the commencement of the 1977 Liberty Bowl Classic. A spectacular fireworks display and the singing of the national anthem by Miss Marguerite Piazza, surrounded by Miss America Susan Perkins and Miss Black America Claire Ford, heralds the beginning of the Monday night extravaganza. North Carolina enters the 1977 Liberty Bowl as champions of the Atlantic Coast Conference and featuring the #1 defense in college football. Nebraska, a longtime power in the Big 8, will test the Tar Heel defense with a wide-open attack. The classic battle is ready to start, and it begins down in the trenches. Number 71 is All-American tackle Dee Hardison, bulwark of North Carolina's strong defensive unit. Against Nebraska, the Tar Heels' defensive task was clearly defined. Stop number 32, I.M. Hip, Nebraska's sophomore backfield sensation. In the first half, the Tar Heels limited Hip to a scant 12 total yards, while containing his offensive counterparts as well. North Carolina led the nation in scoring defense, allowing only 10 touchdowns in 11 games. Against Nebraska, they showed no sign of a let-up. Meanwhile, the Carolina offense surprised the Cornhuskers with their versatility. Amos Lawrence's option pass late in period 1 set up the game's first score. A well-executed rollout by quarterback Matt Kupak. Tight end Brooks Williams was a recipient as North Carolina moved out to a 7-0 second quarter advantage. Time now for Nebraska to shake off the cobwebs. A good play fake and strike over the middle did the job nicely. Tim Smith's big catch took some of the fire out of the Tar Heels. Suddenly, North Carolina's middle was vulnerable, and fullback Dodie Donnell bolted for 17. Then from the 15, Sorley called Donnell's number once again, and the big fullback powered home with the equalizer. Nebraska's 12th-ranked offense covered 64 yards in 6 plays. Now the pressure was on the Tar Heels. On North Carolina's next possession, the pressure grew worse as number 20, Amos Lawrence, carried for the last time. A concerned Carolina sideline looked on as Lawrence limped off with a severe ankle sprain. The 1,000-yard freshman was through running for the night. With his most potent offensive weapon on the sidelines, quarterback Matt Kupak was forced to take matters into his own hands. Kupak did not disappoint. On a 19-play drive, the young quarterback accounted for 30 yards. Kupak and the Tar Heels did get one big break on the march on a critical 3rd down ball possession play. Nebraska coach Tom Osborne objected strongly, but the violation was clear-cut. Had the pass been ruled incomplete, the score might have remained tied until the half. Instead, the Tar Heels received a golden opportunity, and Matt Kupak was not about to waste it. Fullback Bob Loomis rolled over with North Carolina's second score as the Tar Heels regained the lead. Solid defense and ball control were behind North Carolina's first half success. They had succeeded in stopping I.M. Hip and had scored 2 touchdowns in the process. At halftime, they owned a 7-point advantage. For 19 years now, the Liberty Bowl Classic has presented a halftime show that stands by itself. And the Nebraska and North Carolina marching bands proved that they were 2 of the very best units in all of college football. An extraordinary tribute to the king of rock and roll, Elvis Presley, was the highlight of halftime, and will be featured after one of the most exciting second halves of recent bowl history. The second half began like the first. North Carolina's swarming defense formed a circle around I.M. Hip and dealt out some punishment, stopping him out of the backfield and over the middle as well. But this half, Hip wouldn't be the only back to feel the defensive crunch. Matt Kupak likewise fell to a big rush. But North Carolina's attack continued to prove resilient. Fullback Doug Pascal cut back against the grain for 28 yards to the Huskers' 45. 7 plays later, the drive stalled at Nebraska's 30. Time for head coach Bill Dooley to make a crucial decision. North Carolina would go for 3. Kicker Tom Biddle would have to hit this one 47 yards. It's a Liberty Bowl record, a dramatic field goal that hit the upright and bounced through as North Carolina padded its lead to 10. Suddenly, the Tar Heel sideline could sense the end was near.
Y'all are in trouble, buddy! Y'all are in trouble!
North Carolina made things look even worse. On the final play of period 3, tight end Mike Finn advanced the ball to Nebraska's 23. Now North Carolina was in a position to put the game out of reach. Here's how Lindsey Nelson described the action to a nationwide mutual radio audience.
Kupak angling out to the left side and looking. Now throws, and it is in a crowd at the 26, intercepted by Nebraska at the 26-yard line. It's Barney Cotton. Barney Cotton got the football, 1st and 10 for the Cornhuskers on the interception.
Defensive tackle Barney Cotton saved the day for Nebraska. It would be the turning point of the contest. Randy Garcia now replaced Sorley at quarterback, and his first pass hit tight end Ken Spade. Nebraska had its second win. I.M. Hip and Dodie Donnell combined for 76 rushing yards on an 11-play march. Then, from the North Carolina 10, Garcia finished it off.
Nebraska is trailing by 10 points. North Carolina leads 17-7. This is I.M. Hip off the tail. No, it is taken by Garcia. Passes into the end zone. Touchdown. Curtis Craig. Curtis Craig on a touchdown pass from Garcia. Faked the handoff to his tailback. He still had it passed to Curtis Craig, who was all alone. 74 yards in 11 plays. Touchdown, Nebraska.
A replay of the score shows the great fake that froze North Carolina's coverage and allowed Craig to get wide open. The Cornhuskers now trailed by only 3, and their fans wanted only one thing.
Kupak looking to throw, but fumbles the ball. Nebraska out at the 43-yard line on the football. And Nebraska has the ball. Dan Pensick recovered.
Another big defensive play. Now it was North Carolina's turn to summons help.
Defense! Come on, baby! Come on!
But Tom Osborne's team still needed one big play.
Donnell and Hip are in the I formation. It goes to Hip. No, Garcia has it. He passes, and it's complete at the 12-yard line. And it is Smith in for a touchdown. Tim Smith in for a touchdown. Again, Garcia on short yardage. points in 5 plays, and the sideline of the Nebraska Cornhuskers is going wild. Nebraska out in front of the ball game for the first time tonight, 20-17.
And so it ended. Nebraska overcame a 10-point deficit for the win. It was a tough one to lose for the Tar Heels, but both teams had represented their respective conferences well. For Tom Osborne, it was his 4th postseason win in 5 years as head coach. And the Cornhuskers would take back to Nebraska the coveted Liberty Bowl trophy. Following one of the best played bowl games of this or any season, the Liberty Bowl is proud to present a stirring tribute to Memphis' most famous citizen. This extraordinary performance, produced by William B. Tanner Company and directed by Gary Wells and Dee Barton, was presented at halftime and movingly touched the millions who saw it. Narrated by Archie Grenolls, the Liberty Bowl now pays its deepest respects to the King.
Ladies and gentlemen, Roy Orbison, Marguerite Piazza, the Tanner Orchestra and Singers, the Memphis Symphony Chorus, the Nebraska and North Carolina bands, and the Air National Guard joined to pay tribute to the greatest Memphian of all times, Elvis Aaron Presley. Elvis loved his parents. His devotion to Vernon and Gladys Presley was another star in the King's crown. One of the happiest days of his life was when he was able to buy the beautiful mansion, Graceland, for his mother. Everything Elvis touched turned to solid gold. Millions of people were seeing his movies, and more millions were buying his records. Elvis made rock and roll the sound of a generation.
You know I can be found sitting home all alone. If you can't come around, at least please telephone. Don't be cruel to a heart that's true. I don't want no other love, baby. It's just you I'm thinking of.
Elvis' rise to stardom was meteoric, the greatest phenomenon in the history of the entertainment world. But he never forgot his heritage. He never forgot his family or friends. And above all, he never forgot his God. People everywhere felt close to Elvis. He was the guy next door, the kid in your class, the hometown boy who made good. It was easy to relate to him. We shared his dreams. In Elvis, we saw a part of ourselves.
You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. You ain't never caught a rabbit and you ain't no friend of mine. Ain't no friend of mine.
This year, the heart of a nation turned to Memphis to say goodbye to our boy. Our boy from the South, who grew up to be king. What can we say about Elvis that hasn't already been said? What can we say? Except we love him. We miss him very much. He's gone. But the beat that was born in his soul still echoes around the world. And wherever the sound of his voice is heard, people will come together to listen. He can never really die. Like the love he gave the world, he will live forever. Come on, America. The king is holding court.
For Dixieland, that's where I was born. Early Lord, one frosty morn. Look away, look away, look away, Dixieland.
Liberty Bowl 1977, a tribute to Elvis, has been brought to you by First Tennessee Bank and Mid-South Beverages, bottlers and distributors of Pepsi Cola.